Hello everyone, and welcome to the Eastern Front. Today I'm starting a special project. I'm not going to be videotaping the whole thing, but just wanted to show you. As you can see here, my table does not have the regular tabletop on there. It happens to be over here right now. I got it leaning up on the side. Normally I just have these 2x4s on here as a bank to keep trays of pieces and so on from falling on the floor. But this is, I think, called melamine. I'm not sure you can see with the lighting right now, but it's called melamine. A very smooth surface, slippery and so on. One of the problems can be with that, though, is it can be very difficult to pick up cards and stuff from there. So I considered getting a neoprene mat, which I still think might be a good idea, better than what I'm doing right now. But I've also know other people in the bunker group that have put a carpet on theirs. So the idea today is to attach this green carpet to the top of that. So I'm going to take the 2x4 banks off. I'm going to lay this carpet down, cut it to size, and then glue it down, and then screw the 2x4s back in. Of course, I have to wait for the glue to dry, but anyways, and we'll see how that works. If it goes terrible, I will be looking into a neoprene mat. That doesn't quite fit perfectly, but will do the job, I suppose. But hopefully this works. This would be a superior solution if it does work. So I will be back in a day or two with the finished product, if it ever gets finished. Okay, I now have the banks off the table. As you can see, they're just leaning against the wall there. Now I just have the bare board. I think, again, it's called melamine. And here I have unfurled the outdoor carpet that's going to be going down. It's a nice green color. Thought it'd be kind of cool if there was a polka dot or something like that. And it would also, there's a lot of black already down here, and it is kind of dark in the basement, so I'm thinking the green might pop a little bit more. And unfortunately, they didn't really have a red or burgundy that would match the chairs here. So went with green. And again, as you can tell by my picture frames, I have a lot of different mismatched types of frames, from wood to metal, brass, different colors of wood, different styles of wood. Even my bookshelves are different. I have these new Kallax shelves over here. I have some black wire shelves there. Again, a bunch of different picture frames here with different colors and styles and so on. A shadow box with some stuff, some more black shelving, and a silver shelf there. And probably can't see back there, but there's a wooden cabinet back there that has some stuff in there as well. So anyways, I just thought I would show you this part. Now I'm going to pull the carpet over the table and cut it to size, put some glue down, and then after that has some drying time, I'll screw the banks back on, and hopefully it lays flat and everything's good, but we'll see what happens. Okay, as you can see, we have 3 of the corners clamped down. There's maybe a little bit of white left over here, so maybe not 100% perfect, but I don't think it really needs to be, because the banks are going to be going back on there. The main thing is that it's cut so there's nothing hanging over the edges. So I'm not too worried about that. I'm certainly not a perfectionist, and I don't really have all the proper tools. I don't even know if my scissors are sharp enough to cut through this carpet, but we shall find out very shortly. And just a quick video of this to show the progress. And anyone who's a master carpenter might be laughing at this point in time, which is fine. But so far this looks like it's going to work, and I'm getting excited. Great. Okay, this is the factory cut corner. So it looks nice there. Over here I have actually did cut through. Scissors work pretty good. There's the scissors right there. Surprised how well they cut, but they did. Maybe I can take a little bit off right here. Take a little bit more off there. A couple spots there I might take a bit more off. So the idea now is to whether or not to glue. I think I took a bit much off this side, but again, the bank will cover that. Actually, when I flatten it up, it's not that bad, but again, the bank will cover that. So the new plan right now is, I just talked to my stepson. He's into carpentry as a hobby, And we're thinking we can probably put the banks back on without the glue. It is sitting pretty flat right now. And then we can always add the glue later if need be. If the glue starts seeping through the carpet and ruins everything, then I can't fix that problem without buying a bunch of new stuff. So I think we're going to try to put the banks back on without the glue first and see how that goes. So I'm going to reclamp in a few different spots to hold this on, put one bank on, adjust the clamps to another bank, and so on until all four are on. And let's see how that ends up looking. All right, check back in later. Okay, aside from some cleanup, here's the final product. Again, I decided to go without glue, so this has just been pulled as tight as I could. I'm working by myself here, but I pulled it as tight as I could and reattached the banks using clamps and so on to hold things in place. So it is not 100% perfect, but I am very much an amateur at woodworking and carpentry and so on. So I didn't expect it was going to be perfect in the end regardless. One of the reasons I skipped doing the glue was speaking with my stepson, and he kind of agreed with me that it could A, get quite messy, and B, there's the other possibility that if it seeped through a little bit in certain spots, if I put too much glue perhaps, or whatever other reason it seeped through, that you might end up with some of it drying on the carpet itself and having some spots that are hard, some that are still soft and so on. So it kind of I guess sparked one of my fears I had initially of doing this, which is why I was consulting with my stepson, who is a hobbyist carpenter, and he works a lot with glue and so on, so I thought asking him would be a good idea, and kind of again substantiated my fears that I might have a problem if I use the glue. So the other thing is, if I find it becomes loose and bubbles a little bit here and there, I can always take the banks back off and re-glue, whereas if something went seriously wrong with the glue, I would have to obviously get a new carpet, perhaps even a new melamine or whatever it's called board that goes underneath here, and quite a bit of extra effort maybe than it would be just taking the banks back off and applying some glue and so on, which again, I don't think is going to be necessary. If there are some bubbles in here, I kind of suspect myself I would have those bubbles anyways, even with the glue, because again, I'm not an expert at doing this kind of stuff. But in the end, I think this looks pretty fantastic, and I know now playing cards on here is going to be much better picking your cards up. It was nice before the cards were side across the table, no problem, but at times it'd be very difficult to pick them up. And anyone who plays a lot of cards on a smooth table probably knows what I'm saying. But anyways, this here will solve my problem, and I think it looks fantastic. I'm quite happy with the choice of color in green. With the carpet, I didn't have as much choices. When I was looking at the neoprene mats, I had green, blue, black, and maybe gray was the other color. Might have been a white as well. There was 4 or 5 colors to choose from. The problem with the neoprene mat is it was only so long. I would have had at least maybe so much space here on either end, and quite a bit more space if you're looking at it from the long end. The width here, I'd have quite a bit more space on each side that wasn't covered by the neoprene mat. So I wasn't really happy with that idea, although that was my first thought because it would be the easiest. I just couldn't find one the right size, and by the time you look at custom mats and so on, it gets quite expensive, and who knows, perhaps at some point my stepson and I will be able to build a table that's just customized for down here. The table I have underneath here is it's kind of wrecked from years of use upstairs, but it's a really nice dining room table. It replaced a 7-foot or an 8-foot table, whatever it was that I used to have, which was nice because I have a little bit more space over here to put dice trays and so on when we're playing, because when we're doing Acts and Allies, it takes up this whole table, which is, maybe this is 6 by 4 or something like that, or maybe 7 by 5. It's a big table. It's really big. With an Acts and Allies, it takes up the whole thing, and it's nice to have that extra space in the table there to add dice trays on. But for now, I'm using like little TV tables like that on the end for the dice trays when we're playing Acts and Allies. I may look at as well some extensions that go underneath on the edges here to stick out for the dice trays and so on, extra pieces and whatever to go on. But that's something for the future. For now, I'm happy to have this on here. We have been doing a lot more other games such as Wingspan and so on that involve cards, and this will be really sweet the next game we have, which for sure is 2 weekends from now. We're now on Sunday, the 10th of September. So it'll be about the 24th, I think, is the next game that we're for sure having here. Maybe even next weekend. The 16th of September might have people over as well, but not sure. Anyways, that's getting off topic. I just wanted to show the finished product here. I'm not sure if I can fuse all these videos together, if it's going to be 4 or 5 separate videos showing the process of putting this together, but thought I would share it. And so far I'm very happy with how it turned out. And with these banks screwed in with quite a few screws that we did back at the 2017 Young Grasshoppers Invitational Tournament. Actually, it was an open or an invitational, I can't remember, but we used a lot of screws putting this in, so I think any loose parts on here or bubbles that we have may be there, but I don't think any more are going to appear. I think it's held in pretty tight with all those screws. Anyways, hope you like this. This is inspiration as well, I should add, from one of my best friends and longtime gaming friend and Young Grasshopper, who I just mentioned earlier about his previous tournament. He has done this with his table a couple of times actually, and I always thought it was a brilliant idea. This is my first time attempting it myself. Usually when we're playing Axel, this is not an issue. You don't have cards generally that you're using, and everything else is easy to pick up off the table. My map covers most of the table anyways. It's not an issue. It's more recently we've been playing a lot more other games, which, as you can see, I have plenty of other games. There's lots over there. I've got a few right here, a few more of our favorites over here, and a lot more of games over here. Some favorites, some are more classic kind of thing. For example, Risk isn't really a favorite in my group anymore, but it's one of my favorite games, so I buy a lot of them. But anyways, when you're playing games that have cards and so on, it really is difficult to pick them up off that melamine surface. So now, got this carpet. I'm very happy. I'm even more excited for the next time I have folks over here gaming. Have a great day.